What do you feel about the whole political movement right now that is going on? Do you feel like whoever's in office really makes a difference, or do you feel like it's just their puppets?
Yeah, it's all controlled. It don't make no difference. I mean, we don't fully know. I mean, it's two wings of one bird for sure. We could have infiltrators. We don't know, but from what we see, it's all, you know. When I went and voted, I went and wrote Kanye's name in the ballot.
I mean, do you think that he would be even like able to run the country?
No,
Or you just want
no,
somebody
but
that's
I
that
know this is
different that would shake things up?
no, because I know it's bullshit.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's a joke.
Right. That's interesting. Wow. I mean, it would be crazy to imagine that he could do it, you know. But you
I
know,
mean,
sorry, go ahead.
first and foremost, Americans need to know that we're not under the country of this country of America. We are ruled by the U.S. corporation, and we're
Mhm.
actually collateral for the U.S. government. So we don't even know the government state that we're actually in.
Why do you think it is that like whenever anything needs to be done for the US citizen, they're always doing a back and forth, right? Like remember the stimulus checks? It was a big deal, right? It took forever for them to approve. But when another country needs help, overnight, we're sending billions of dollars, like just like it's nothing, you know? Why is that?
Well, they need to maintain what I feel is, you know, the mainstream media narratives to keep distraction, control, you know, and at the end of the day, we know we're not like they don't care about us, you know, they
And
just
you know, and
don't.
I bring this up because it seems like we're always kept in a state of desperation, right? Like where like if you're like in a state of need and state of being scared, it's easier to control you. And that creates a us versus them mentality where, you know, we're divided. It's so and so's fault, this race's fault, or, you know, it's this group's fault why we don't have what we need. You're coming into our country, you're not legal, blah, 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 right? And recently, people took jabs at you saying, oh, you're Nicaraguan. This is what your country really looks like, and stay out of our business, right? Stay. So, and I know you had a little fun with that.
I did. And listen, when I say something and I'm arguing, people have to like understand. I will look at you and I will use whatever data I can to use against you. You know what I mean? So it's not that I know what will hit, you know. Obviously I shouldn't be arguing with people, but sometimes I get into it because I do enjoy a little, you know, a little debate. Um, but I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Of, you know, just like how it's always a us versus them mentality because of us feeling so desperate all the time. And it's easier because of like the close proximity for us to point at, oh, so and so is at fault. This is why our reality is this way, you know, instead of being
Yeah.
like, no, it's the US government that has created this division.
Hmm. And what about that?
No, I'm just saying that like
Oh,
that
sorry.
I'm just saying that like us being desperate, you know, or being in a state of
Oh,
fear
yeah,
is always
yeah.
making us feel
That's exactly why they keep, you know, they keep us, it's like they keep us here, you know, just enough, but then we're angry and then but they give us just enough.
right. Yeah, it's and then you how did you feel about that when that quote unquote fan hit you with that picture?
Um, I felt so much love in my heart, and it's like the little girl in that photo. Like I felt that was me. You know, I'm like, because this is where my people have come from, and this is where, and oh, everybody is my people, really, at the end of the day. But because my family is from this country, it hit home. It struck a chord, and I didn't find it offensive. I just knew he didn't understand.
Yeah, because it, you know, it went back to a whole thing of like, you're not black, so you shouldn't speak on black matters, and you should stick to your own country, right? Like that was the whole argument. And I feel like, especially when you're in hip hop or anything like that, it creates a lot of times people, that's the low hanging fruit almost. Like that's the first thing that is gone to.
To attack your like identity exterior.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that's why racism is bullshit because really when it's like two humans against each other, you're going to point out the first thing. You know what I mean? Like say I'm arguing with a Chinese man, oh you blah 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 blah. When really it's not even about that, it's about the issue underlying. Now we're just using whatever we can to insult each other.
Yeah, it deviates from what we're really talking about at the end of the day, right? And it's like I said, it's almost like it's low hanging fruit versus let's have a real conversation about what is there. Let's have an intellectual conversation from what is there, and we can debate. We can have difference of opinion, but maybe we could walk away with respect and maybe not change our minds or anything, but have respect for why people might view things a certain way.
Exactly, because we all come from different backgrounds, experiences. Like we don't know, you know what I mean? We've all collected a certain type of data that gives us this filter and how we move about the earth and how we comprehend things and how we experience. You know, so really the more understanding we have, it's like I'm trying to step into a space of more understanding rather than condemnation, judgment, because it's a better place to be. It's a better feeling for me. And I'm like, you know what? Rather than making a conclusion about this in particular with my brother, with the person who is in front of me, not some celebrity on a screen. I want to understand.
You know, and that's the thing is like with the internet is like people will say the craziest things, right? I some of the things that I've seen people say to me directly on the internet, I've never experienced in person. Like nobody will say that. Like I haven't received like either as racist comments or anything like that in front of me. So it's like, it's kind of, sometimes I feel like you have to take it with a grain of salt because people feel that courage to say anything when you're not face to face.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people are definitely more bold online.
and why do you think that is? Why do you think that people feel like they can do that?
Because you're not face to face. You know what I mean? And it's just much easier to, and even through text, you know what I mean? It's easier to spout off than to, and now that you're asking me that, I'm like, I got to think about that. Like, well, why is it so much easier?
Because it's
online?
Almost like, you know, someone once explained it to me. It's almost like road rage, but online road rage, where you take your frustrations out on somebody and you don't view them as an actual person. It's just a name. Yeah. It's just like,
there you go.
You take, yeah. Because we're all going through something in life, right? And people have different outlets to take it out on. Because sometimes I wonder, I'm like, how can people be so hateful online? Like you can make content even just about your kids and people will say, F your kids and I hope they die. You know, like it's crazy the things that people will say. And it sometimes it makes you lose like hope in humanity almost to a certain extent, like how heartless people can be.
Yeah, I think a lot of that too has been bots. So, and then we as humans just kind of follow in behavior. We're like lemmings, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy. Well, Tina, this is another one for the books for sure. I just want to thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you, Panda.
Do you have anything to say to the fans before we go ahead and wrap it up?
Yes. At the core of our being, I want to reiterate, we are spirit. We are all one. We possess a soul, which consists of our mind, will, and emotions, which is our singular soul imprint on this planet. And we simply live in a body. And if you want to learn about money manifestation, I'm going to be starting a series on my TikTok so that people can start rising above, because it's not about fighting the system. It's not about, you know, trying to get the government to lower taxes. It's none of that. It's about tapping into your abundant flow to become depolarized. We're not triggered by this anymore. We're not angry about this anymore, but we're now in a centered state, balanced. And all of us who are centered and balanced can now channel and pull. We can bring heaven on earth and light this planet up for the better.
That's a very powerful message. Thank you so much, Tina.
Thank you.